Hey, Shalom. First off, we like to say, Kal Halal, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rufak, Wadash, Tawada, Yahweh for giving us Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who have the 100% spirit of Yahweh Shemai Shai in them. Double honors to the CT elders of GMS, our big brothers. Greetings and salutations to the brothers in this country and all over the world who are prophesying in the true name of Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai, which is none other than the power of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and anybody who are descendants from those people on their father's side. Shalom to those who are scattered abroad. Okay, shalom to the Akim and the Aqua. Okay, and here we are at Nazar Akkad's palace. Nazar Akkad's, Elder Nazar Akkad's crib, here with the beloved brother Malakba. Okay, and we're here, Lord willing, serving the King of the universe. Okay, Lord Yahweh Shai, from the power of Yahweh. All right, and it's a camp day, but we're going to treat it as a camp sit down because basically it's been raining out here for like a few days now, constantly. And it's going to rain all throughout the day and even up to tomorrow. So it's been a constant rain for 3 or 4 days, But anyway, we're here and we're going to prophesy the downfall of America and then, the rain that's going to hit America, man, the nuclear rain, So, we're just going to ride with the Spirit, go with the Spirit. Elder got the computer up. Brother has a book he want to get into, and we're just going to ride in the Spirit and just go into current events through the Spirit of our Lord, So, what do you have, brother?
Quick precept. This is 2nd Ezra 8:50. It says, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride."
Beautiful, man. On the deck, can you get pride as beginning of sin? I think that's in Sirach somewhere.
Oh yeah, come
here. And then when you get a chance, you can read that again. Because man, of course, we're reading from the Holy Scriptures, man, and of course, that great miseries is going to come to the planet Earth. All right, great miseries are coming to world societies. All right, and it's already happening, man. People are miserable already. Okay, because why? Because ultimately, because of the dollar is losing its value. The dollar is devaluating. And other countries are dropping the dollar. And for you to live this fantasy world in America, you have to have the dollar has to be backed by some kind of power, which has no power anymore. So your money has to have some kind of worth or power where you can go out and invest in a home, buy or invest in a business, invest in your future with a, I say a good economy is only as good as this monetary system, and the monetary system in America is vanishing away. So what does that mean for your future? That's why the scriptures go into the book of Ecclesiastes, with their windows. Matter of fact, can you get that real quick? Yeah, 12.
What is it?
Ecclesiastes 12th chapter. The door should be shut in the streets, and then we'll go back to it. We got it? Okay, yeah. Brother, go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes 12. It says, I'll start at 3. It says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of their windows be darkened."
Beautiful. So read Baba Chai again.
Yeah, it says in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble.
Who are the keepers of the house? Okay. Now, if you go to Job 9:24, it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right. Meaning that the control of the earth by way of its economy and countries and governments are really, you have the illusion that you have independent countries and governments, but that's not the case. There's keepers of the house or keepers of this governments, which are none other than the elite banking families. The banks really control governments. Mar Am-Shah-Bauer said it himself.
Right.
He said, "Give me controls of a nation's money, I care not who makes their laws." Right, because the very fact is that if you control the money, the monetary system, that means you can control the people by way of bribery, by way of buying people out. Because nobody's going to deny the benefits that's going to come from getting, $30, $50 million or whatever have you, to do their agenda. You're not going to deny the money, because at the end of the day, what does the scripture say? The love of money is the root of all evil, but really, money is a defense. And if your money goes down, if it devalues, how can it defend you? So this is what's going on in America, man. The dollar in America is not defending the people. Okay, they're actually, how should I say? It's not defending because they can't get them out of the situations. They can't get them from being evicted or losing their homes. The homes, how should I say? The housing market is plummeting. This is all facets. Everything doing money is going down. So like.
Right. So I got the quote.
Yeah, okay.
This is a quote from, we quoted Meyer M. Shalbauer. He said, "Let me issue and control a nation's money, and I care not who writes the laws."
Yeah, he said, "Let me issue it. Let me give it out." And what did he say?
Let me issue and control a nation's money, and that's what that's what the situation we have here in America. Going back to the Federal Reserve, the enactment, the enactment of the Federal Reserve, which issues money to America, right? It controls the money of America. If America needs to print more money or loan out more money, just like they did to Ukraine, they sent them another billions and billions of dollars. I think it was like $30 billion. They had to go to the Federal Reserve to do so. You see, so America is being controlled by the bankers who you're going into that are over there in Europe. Right, which go back to the families of this guy right here, Meyer and Shell Rothschild, which the Rothschild families is still alive and doing pretty well. You know,
so much so they put it in your cartoons.
Yeah.
Okay, with what's the dude in the Simpsons? I forget, the rich guy in the Simpsons.
Oh, what's the name?
Well, we don't need to.
Yeah.
But yeah, they exist. Okay.
That was it.
Back to Ecclesiastes 12.
Right.
Sure.
It says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves."
Yeah. So the keepers of the house are the international bankers, and we just proved it, right? Because the scriptures say, when in Proverbs 27, I forget where it is, the borrower is servant to the lender.
Yeah.
See, they know this formula. Okay.
Yeah.
No matter how many good commercials or speeches about how free you are, at the end of the day, if you owe somebody money, you got to pay that off. You're their slaves. So that little, and it says in the scriptures, all right. So if they make you a borrower, you're a servant to the lender. That means you're a slave to the one who gave you the money. And that's it, man. And America is basically, like Apostle always says, a credit-based system will not last. And that's what it is. It's based off borrowing and then credit for you to be able to pay that back. So
yeah, which is usury in the scriptures, right?
Yeah,
that's
usury.
Yeah. According to the scriptures, if you owe somebody money, you're able to get some freedom from that loan. By the what's that?
Interest.
What's the law though? It's the
usury law.
The usury law.
It's only for I know we can charge other nations usury, but not Israel, your own neighbor.
Right. I believe it's seven Sabbaths.
Oh, okay.
You're free from that debt.
Okay, come.
You see?
Oh, the year of Jubilee.
There you go. Okay, year of Jubilee. That's what it was.
7. Is it 7 years? I think it's 7 years, right?
Right. Yeah, 7 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So Salak.
So back to, it says, "And the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few."
Yeah, so the keepers of the house shall tremble. Why are they trembling? Because going back to really the Revelation 12:12, the devil, which he is, knoweth he has but a short time. Okay, that's where they're really trembling, because they see the Lord coming back. All right, so they're trying to speed up their New World Order, like it says in your dollar, right in front of your face that you see every day. Norvis Clarum, all right, and in your dollar tells you about the New World Order. And they trying to push this in, man. Okay? So they trying to hurry up and push it in. But the only way they can push this New World Order in is the dollar has to crash. Okay? America is not part of the New World Order, okay? Because they're gonna have one monetary system, which is a new form of currency, which is gonna come by way of the M. Okay, we can't even say M to the you know,
You can't say.
the M to the busy,
Yeah, and
know?
to the, yeah.
or the M or Revelation 13th chapter. Okay, so for that, that's gonna be the new form of money. Okay, so that can't coexist with the dollar or any form of currency. That's why another proof to that is the CBDC, the central bank digital currency, CBDC. Okay, all these things are in front of your face. So, Salak, the keepers of the house will tremble because they want to bring this new world order as fast as they can. And that would have to mean America's dollar has to crash along with overall all other countries, especially America because they're the superpower, you know, well, used to be. So,
Right. It says, and the grinders cease because they are few.
Oh, Salak, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah. So when you crash a dollar, the grinders cease because there are few. That means you're gonna lose jobs. How the hell you can destroy a nation's money and then you got these big corporations still going on? Really, you know, it's always been a process by gradualism. Well, we can go back to 2008, really, when the crash happened then. And it's been declined since 2008. You have your ups and downs, but really 2008 was really the you know, another step of decline of America, man. And what was I saying? That read that again, I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah. It says, and the grinders cease because they are few.
Yeah, so with that happening, okay, the grinders have ceased since 2008. What happened? We remember vividly, man. I remember all these banks that was always around since we were kids. They were running around anymore. Banks started merging with each other.
Right.
Banks started buying out other banks.
Right. Smaller than yep.
You know. So that's never before. I mean, I can't remember what banks merged, but I remember there was banks that I knew from childhood that were done and merging with each other now. You know. And so the grinders shall cease because there are few. You had just the housing market. You had jobs, people losing their jobs. Businesses that were since 2008 to 2012. Remember Circuit City?
Oh yeah.
Circuit City don't exist anymore. You know what are the major? Supermarket. A&P. A&P closed down.
Models.
Models.
That's, I believe Models is. It might be only online. I'm not sure.
Well, you was it Payless?
Payless.
They're out of there.
Yeah, Payless. Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're just going off the
Radio
head.
Shack.
That was everybody knows Radio Shack.
Radio Shack, yeah.
That was a major one. Come on, Radio Shack. Radio Shack was a big company, man. Or I mean, as far as us knowing them since we were kids. You know, so again, that proves that the grinders shall cease. Okay. And on to this day, 2022. Now look at, I mean, please, since the lockdown, 2020, that has went exponentially to another higher level.
Sped up,
Yeah, it sped up to a high level, man. Where now you have it where, remember that there's no more middle class really no more. Okay, there's only the rich and the poor. That gap is getting bigger because you had. I remember in the middle class, you had the rich, you had the poor, and then the rich. And then within the middle class, there were like 3 levels: upper middle class, lower middle class, and then middle class. Or is it just upper and lower? Maybe it's just upper and lower class, you know. But you would have classes within the middle class. You know what I mean? That doesn't exist anymore. I mean, what were those middle class? The middle class really was the backbone of America. By mom and pop shops, you know, businesses, small businesses, family businesses, you know. And that's all been done away by what? The dollar devaluing, and especially with the latest, with the, you know, what happened in 2020. So that's biblical prophecy, man. And again, that has to happen in order for the new order to come in. But again, this is happening because they're trembling. They have to speed everything up. to bring in the new Lord before the Lord comes back.
I got some stores that closed down 2020,
You got it.
2022. And all of these have been closing down because of the pandemic really just really fucked a lot of businesses up, right?
Yeah.
24-hour fitness. They close is one of the largest fitness center chains in the U.S. They close a lot of businesses. Actually, the whole business went for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in June 2020. Obviously, 2020 is when the pandemic happened, right? All the store closures for weeks, okay? At Abercrombie and Fitch, AC Moore, American Illegal Outfitters.
AC Moore's out of there? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, these are that closed
Majority
a lot of locations, right?
Still the same thing.
Yeah, AC Moore, Ann Taylor, Lane Bryant, AT&T, closed a lot of stores down. Let me see. Not going out of business, but they permanently closed 250 AT&T stores. AT&T and Cricket Wireless, they closed a lot of stores. Bath and Body Works guys closed a lot down.
Oh wow.
Best Buy closed. Bose closed a lot of stores. Brooks Brothers, Century 21. I mean, I can keep going. This is in alphabetical order, so I'm not gonna go. I'm only at C right now. But
CVS on there too?
CVS is on here.
Wow.
Damn. Let me see. Ooh, that's to read this. It says the pharmacy chain did close 46 stores in 2019, another 22 in 2020.
Wow.
But these are a small percentage of 9,900 CVS locations across the country. So they had to close some stores. Disney stores, DSW, Express. They closed 31 stores. And they plan to close 100 by 2022. So, listen, this is what we're talking
GameStop. Remember GameStop?
What's that?
That was
they closed a lot now. Let me
yeah.
see how many.
There's still a few, but they're closing heavy.
Yeah,
let's
they
see
closed
here. It says in 2020, GameStop had closed 462 globally.
Yeah. I remember GameStop was part of that.
150 more than they announced. They said they're only going to close 300. They had to close 462. Gap closed a bunch of stores.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah.
You know, but like I said,
He's only in the G's.
Yeah, I'm still in the G's, man. I ain't good. You know, but hey, that's Ecclesiastes. That's the grinder shall cease because they are few.
That's right.
You see, so that's prophecy, man. You know.
I got a precept on prophecy. Just
Yeah.
real quick.
It says, and then it says, and those that look out of their windows be darkened, right? So that's going into what people envision to happen in the future, right? Yeah, and you know, because I'm sure a lot of these businesses, their goal is to continue growing their business, right? Okay, each year they want to keep opening more and more and more stores.
Well, that's the American way.
Right.
Capitalism.
That's the American way. But now it's turned into the American nightmare because you got a lot of stores that have to pull back, right? They can't keep
Spend
growing.
as much.
Then you had a lot of businesses that had to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, man. So that coronavirus really affected a lot of businesses, man. And we're talking about major corporations. We're not even going into, like you said, the mom and pop stores. Yeah. Right? There's no way they're gonna last during the pandemic.
I'm sorry to cut you. Yeah, because they did them perfect. Because only the big corporations who have billions and millions of dollars, they can kind of last a lot. You know, last a few, even a month closing. You know, because they can still pay their property tax or this tax or this payment. You know, to the town. But a mom and pop store, you know, if you own a store in Fifth Ave somewhere, or you own a store even here or whatever, you gotta pay. You still gotta pay those taxes every month.
Right.
You know, you still gotta pay. You know, your taxes.
Right, tax to the city, to the town,
to the town, the city.
The licenses that you need to keep the business open, you need to pay those yearly, man.
Yeah.
On top of paying rent,
wherever
business you are.
To the bill.
Supplies, all that. So there's no way. And a lot of times, those mom and pop stores, they've been doing that for years, man.
Yeah.
You know, it could have been a life investment. It could have been went back a few generations, and they had to just shut down within a few weeks of the pen. So
because they can't pay it.
Yep. At least these big companies, they could just close down a few stores. They'll fire a few people or let go of a few people, but at the end of the day, they still have the business is still there. You know, they just got to do cutbacks.
And then when they do, when that happens, in a normal case scenario, they'll go to the bank and get a loan,
Right.
Business loan.
Right.
But
right.
when the banks are shut down and the banks are ordered not to give any loans, then you're definitely screwed.
That's right.
And remember, we just start off the show, with the quote from Maher al-Shabara, they control the banks. Okay?
Right.
Esau controls the banks. Okay? The devil. Okay? So how you gonna get around that? So your whole America going down is being really demoed. Is that the right word? It's being demoed, man, on purpose. But overall, Yahweh Shai is doing it by way of prophecy. I got a quick precept on prophecy. Either brother, you got it, brother. Isaiah 14 and 24. It says, "The Lord of hosts have sworn." It says, "The Lord of hosts have sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass, and as I have purposed, so shall it stand."
So all of the prophecies that are written in the scriptures are going to stand. And this is the prophet Isaiah, right? Isaiah 14:1. The prophet Isaiah, all the prophets had visions, and they all spoke about, of course, during the time of the reign of Babylon, Assyria, and all these major empires that existed. But of course, it's also speaking about future prophecies, because of course, America is all the major empires that ever existed balled up into one major place, right? That's why it's called the Great City, because America keeps all the customs of every ancient empire that ever existed. So that's why
The mother of harlots.
exactly. So everything that the scriptures speak about is going to come to pass, and it will stand, right?
That was it. Just a quick one on prophecy.
Fun. And I had I wanted to go back to, if I may,
No, you were done with Ecclesiastes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go back to what you had.
I want to go back to 2nd Ezra 8 and 50, because I wanted to bring out the word miseries. This is back in 2nd Ezra 8 and 50, and I also have
You got that precept, right?
I got it ready.
You got to.
Ecclesiasticus, 2nd Ezra 8 and 50. It says, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride." So now I brought out the word miseries in the online etymology. And the word misery is from the late 14th century. State of grievous affliction, condition of external unhappiness. From the Old French misère, miserable situation, misfortune, distress. 12th century, from the Latin miseria, wretchedness. From miser, wretched, pitiful, pitiable, right? It says, meaning condition of one in great sorrow, and that's what it says. Many great sorrows shall be done to the. Wow.
Oh, I got a precept for you.
Khan.
You said sorrow, right?
Yeah, Khan. It says condition of one in great sorrow or mental distress. Now, when all of these things are happening, what is that going to bring? It's going to bring mental distress. It's going to bring depression. It's going to bring, affliction, right? All of these things are going to happen. And I also even tied into the word miser, right? Because it says see miser, which that's what the word misery goes back to. The word miser from the 1540s, miserable person, wretch, unhappy, wretched, pitiable, right? And that's basically it.
Got a precept for you.
Come.
Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. It reads, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
But who is the righteous? The righteous are the ones that are doing the will of Yahweh Shem Shai. Truthfully, the righteous are the hopeful elect, right? But the hopeful elect are not in authority, because if that was the case, everybody would rejoice, right?
Got a precept for you. This is jumping down to verse 7.
Come.
The righteous, it says, the righteous Proverbs 29 verse 7. The righteous considereth the cause of the poor,
Wow.
but the wicked regardeth not to know it.
The wicked don't regard.
Read again. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. To know.
Proverbs 29 and 7. The righteous considereth the cause of the poor.
And how do the righteous consider the cause of the poor? We're basically letting you know. We're letting you know who are they trying to bring low. And they continue to lift themselves up. Right? That's why we go out there in the highways and hedges and we tell you these things, man. We tell you who is in control, who the earth is given into the hands of, right? Which when you look at the word hands in the Hebrew is yad, right? Which means power, right? We know that the power was given into their hands and who they're trying to bring down, which is none other than you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the nation of Israel. Which you see the sign right there, right? And then it said what? That the...
And if I may add too, also, the righteous considers the cause of the poor as well is, a righteous king is not gonna have a society full of poor people, you know? He's always gonna consider, okay, well, he's poor. How did this happen? How did this get this way? Meaning, you're the system of that society or city. I'll say all systems, a righteous system or a system, I'll say, is supposed to be a system to support all people, man. Everybody got to eat and
Right.
feed their family and all that stuff. So
That's right.
let's say you have a system set in place and then there's poor people out of your system. That means that system don't work, you know? Because in the time of King Solomon, there was no poor.
Nobody, everybody was...
Everybody was eating, man. If it's somehow, some way, somebody was poor, destitute, whatever, then they would consider, well, how did this happen? We have a system here that, you're supposed to be working for 7 years, and when you're done, you can choose to stay with your master, or you can start your own. There's a system written into place in the laws of the scriptures, man. But Esau, so you're not supposed to have poor people in the society. That's not supposed to exist. Because they ain't getting the society of the kingdom of heaven, right? Which is going to be a theocracy. A theocracy means a government under under the Most High power, God, what you call God. And there ain't going to be no poor people in the kingdom, man. Okay, or should I really more so Israelites, the nation of Israel. Okay,
Clean out, right?
yeah, there's not going to be any poor people, but the kingdom of Israel, they're not going to be poor. Even the other nations going to eat, but you're going to have to go through hardcore slavery first. So after 1,000 years, then you're going to get your lands and all that. But you're going to go through harsh judgment for 1,000 years, all nations, and build the kingdom. All nations are going to build the kingdom. But again, there will be no poor people in the kingdom of heaven, man. The only ones who are going to be destitute is Esau. But really, he's going to work on it. After you lay that last diamond ruby, not doing that onyx stone or whatever precious stone, you're going right into slavery, man. Excuse me. You're going to be burnt. The true holy burnt or the true Holocaust is going to be upon Esau when he lays the last pebble, righteous, majestic pebble of the kingdom of Israel, man. And you're out of there.
I wanted to bring out a quick term, Salakia. This is from CambridgeDictionary.org. Dog eat dog. Used to describe a situation in which people will do anything to be successful, even if they do harms other people.
Well, yeah, that's that. You know what? That you might as well write equal capitalism, okay? Because that's what dog eat dog is. Trying to be better than the next man. If you have to lie to do so, yeah, my tire's the best. You both sell tires, but both of you guys have the best tires, right? And you did, a dog eat dog world. So if you have to read that again, sure.
It says, used to describe a situation in which people will do anything to be successful, even if what they do harms other people.
Yeah, even what they do harms other people. And they said the best businessmen, which are really all Edomites, because it's set up that way, but for them to get to that level, like corporate leaders and CEOs, they said the key reason they made it there because they have no empathy.
Wow.
And empathy means cutthroat. You know, to be like a sheer businessman, or like, you know, they all have something in common. They're cutthroat. They'll take out the other guy. You know, which means they have no empathy. You know, that's the key to what a Fortune 500 they call it, company. You know, but anyway, you know, back to the scripture here. It says, the righteous considereth the cause of the poor, but the wicked regardeth not to know it.
Yeah, Khan, and the wicked don't regard to know it, because they know, they set up individuals such as, you know, CIA individuals, basically study of what gets a person going. So they know how to do these studies, and they basically know how to break down society to its lowest form, and they don't care that they do that, because they want to set up a dystopian world, hence New World Order, where, you know, everybody's living miserably while they just, you know, capitalize on all of what they're doing.
Yeah.
To the people, to the masses.
They even say that over 50% of the world's population lives on less than $1 a day. Come on, man. I mean, geez, you know. You know, that's just 50%. That's just less than $1. We didn't talk about. So what about the maybe another 20% lives on $2 a day? You know. So it just shows you, you know. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back to Proverbs 29:2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Going back to what you brought up.
And the wicked are in authority, right?
Going back to the misery thing, bro.
Right. And based on them being in authority, just proves how everybody is living. The cost of living is extremely preposterous, man. Look up that word, you know. And when you understand that they're basically setting it up to where, of course, there's obviously many tyrants, right, in a form of tyranny, right? They basically want to make it your life a living hell, you know. So the righteous are not in authority, because when the righteous are in authority, everybody's gonna rejoice. What the brother was saying, everybody's gonna eat, everybody's gonna be living the right way. You are not living when the wicked are bearing rule. You're in a state of mourning. Your life is miserable, you know. All of this back and forth, you know. You're even against your own family members. You're even your own family members are against you, or they're trying to attack you, you know. I want to find out how this person is living, all up in your business. You know, that's not how family is. A family structure is supposed to be where you guys build each other up. That's how the Rothschilds do it. Look at them. You know, this family sticks together, but really to destroy the nation of Israel.
Well, and conquering the body.
Exactly.
Divide and conquer.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know,
I just got some confirmation. This is about your quote, right? It says there are around 1 billion people in the world who live on less than $1 per day. More than half of the world population lives with less than $10 a day. And some people live with more than $100 a day.
So I said some people. Wow. So that's only a few. That's only like a superpower country like America or Russia or China who actually have classes. You know, other than that, most of the world's in third world country, man.
Wow.
And again, we just told you controls the monetary system. Actually, you have the FRNs, but you have the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, where that's an entity or a bank, so to speak, or organization, really, not a bank, or organization that controls, that monitors government's money or country's money. You know, they manipulate, you know, what a country can get. They control that. Okay? So, if that's the case, that means people getting less than $1 a day is being controlled. People getting less than $10 a day, that's being controlled. People getting $100. So, the money is where it's going, and who gets it is being controlled. By who? None other than the so-called white man, the devil. All right, Esau, Edom. All right.
That was it.
All right.
So going back
The
to
misery thing you had.
I'll finish that and then I'll get the precepts of that. 2nd Ezra 8:50. For many great miseries shall be done to them in the latter time.
So we just read you, right? We just brought out a whole bunch of information. Really deal with money because that's what really brings misery. Because your system's built off of a system that you need money to get out of misery. All right, and that's just one of them. Okay, let alone all the other stuff that we're not poisoning your food and all that other stuff. Okay, but the key to it is money. Like if you don't have any money, you can't live a certain life because the system, the capitalist system with democracy is set up on business. That's the foundation of that BS, business and capping over the other one and all this. But that's not really what life is. The system, the ultimate system, the true system is the laws and the statutes, commandments of the Heavenly Father.
That's right.
Okay, that He gave this system, all right, to the nation of Israel, which can govern not only your life, all right, but a whole society, a people. Because in the kingdom of heaven, all right, the system is going to be what's going to be established: the laws and the statutes, commandments of the Heavenly Father. You can have civil laws, how to deal with your neighbor. You can have statutes. How to conduct yourselves. You can have holy days. Not sacrifices, but you can have all these things set up, which not only makes everybody eat, and not only your body, but overall your mind, man, because it's the truth. This system here is not based on the mind; it's based on gain or gaining over the next man. So if we have a business here, us three, and based on the system, if one of us does good, right, that means somebody's going to do bad, and so much so that maybe one of us can buy out the other company
And
right?
merge.
And then merge.
That's like the game Monopoly.
Wow.
The whole goal to win Monopoly is to keep buying out the other person until one person ain't got no money and he's fucking living on the street.
Damn.
It's messed up.
Yeah.
What a horrible game to play.
Shit, but imagine, but you got the elites are playing that in real
They
life.
play in real life.
Damn.
Look at that.
Dog eat dog, for real.
Dog eat dog world, man. So a virtuous system of morality, like morals, like the morals that you should have is not to buy out the next person to be a bum or poor. What kind of system is that? But you see who eats it up the most? Dumbass Jake. See the people on the sign over here?
Yes.
Stupid niggas on the sign. Spicks, man. I was gonna put him out. Money Mayweather taking a bath with Monopoly money on your bed, you little midget. You goddamn midget, man. And not only that, but all you stupid niggas, man, you sellouts, man. Gloating over Monopoly money. And you don't even have a lot of money, man. That's not what life set up. You were chosen to be a special people unto the Lord, man. That's why and then you still want the society to go on. You still want to be a slave and be in the society. That's what Scripture say. What Jeremiah, 5:15 or 15:5 is Israel a homeborn slave? You want America to go on? You want to be a slave. You want to continue being a slave. That's what it is. Anyway,
it says back in 2nd Ezra 8:50, for many great miseries shall be done to them in the latter time, that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride.
beautiful. Okay, and that's what it all is at the end of the day. Okay, pride. Matter of fact, you got that precept?
Gun. I'm going to start at verse 12. This is Ecclesiasticus 10 and 12. The beginning of pride is when one departeth from the Most High.
See? Read it again. Probably sure.
Gun. The beginning of pride is when one departeth from the Most High.
I didn't hear you, brother. Can you read that again, brother?
Con. The beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High.
You see? That's what pride is, man. And we can apply that to all facets, man. We can apply it to the garden. You know, Adam and Eve. When you know, the Most High gave the commandment to Adam and Eve, really start with Adam. And what happened? You know, Eve, that demon, which proves you women, you know, here it is, the Most High gave a commandment, and you're supposed to listen on to your husband Adam, right, which got the commandment from the Most High. And what happened? The serpent, that devil, came and gave you another philosophy, right? And you went and listened to that.
Mm-hmm.
So right then and there, you did this. Read it again.
Con.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning of pride is when one departeth from the Most High.
Yeah, so she departed from the commandment of the Most High, which is given unto Adam, right? You should have said no, but you know, everything had to be played out. But you know, that's just one aspect. Why? Because you departed. And look at what happened to the nation of Israel. You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Right? The beginning of pride is when what again, Salar? When one departs.
When one departeth from the Most High.
When one departed from the Most High. So how do we get into America? How do we come into slavery? How do we lose our way? Hosea 4:6. Why? Because we departed from the Most High. We separated ourselves from the laws of the Heavenly Father, right? By worshiping other gods, other philosophies. All right? And why? You did that because of pride. You know, I don't know if it says it there. It says pride is beginning of sin.
Con. Yeah, that's the next verse.
Oh, okay, you got it.
I just had a quick precept.
Mm-hmm.
This is Ecclesiasticus 25 and 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die.
Yeah, so pride is really breaking the law, really. Because you can't break a law without pride in you first. Pride is a big, I'm sorry, I can't remember that.
The beginning of pride, Ecclesiasticus 10 and 12. The beginning of pride is when one departeth from the Most High, and his heart is turned away from his Maker.
That's plain.
It is.
Your heart is your lobby. Your heart is turned away from your Maker. So again, pride is really what makes you go off, what makes you break laws.
That's right.
Okay? And it said pride, and I know there's another one. I'm thinking about envy. That's something else. Okay, but you got it.
And it continues, for pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. Wow, because if I can make a point, you have something coming up next month, Pride Month. All of those individuals, they don't have the Heavenly Father within them. They are completely departed from that, right? Which is why it is uplifted here in society.
Yeah.
That is why Sodom and Gomorrah got destroyed, because all of those individuals were prideful in their wicked ways. And you people, fast forward to today, in your prideful, demonic, wicked ways, are being uplifted in the most abomination month to uplift all of the alphabets.
Well, you even have even since we got the truth, it's gotten much worse. I mean, it's getting worse
By the minute.
by the year, and then even by the months, man. I mean, damn. I mean, you have it was Cali. They're starting giving reparations to people who claim transgenderism and binary.
I think Florida.
Oh, was it Florida?
Yeah.
They're giving out $400 or $400 a month. Even if you claim it's to transgenders, right, as a reparations, and also if you claim that you're binary, whatever, you know, meaning you don't claim a sex, you're gonna get money, no matter what kind of money you make. So that's uplifting that, man. I mean, this is a shadow without a doubt that America is Sodom and Gomorrah. I mean, it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible about what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, and that's really engulfed in homosexual acts, not even homosexual acts, all form of sexual perversions, which is bestiality, having sex with animals, with a necrophilia, having sex with dead bodies. That's big in America, man. You hear about people killing people and they still have sex with the body. Well, let alone your elites, you know, please. Okay, having sex with children, that's being allowed. You have an organization out there called Mambula, which stands for Man Boy Lover. That exists. All right, so you people, man, who love America, and it's always the stupid niggas first, you know, that you see on July 4th, and it's always a nigga wearing a goddamn American flag from head to toe, you know? You're the worst kind of person to even wear something like that, because this system, or America, is not for our people, and furthermore, it's not nothing to do with the Most High Heavenly Father, man, or what you people call God. Doesn't follow. It's not close to following any laws of the Lord, man. So much to the point now they want to do away with the Bible.
Yeah, that's right.
And our people are fucking gone, man. You can't get any lower than this. Brother skimming, the elder skimming through the internet. I just saw a picture of niggas in a church wearing a mask, man. You know how low of an IQ you have to be to wear a mask?
Right. That's right.
Yeah, you used to have Jake wearing a mask when the mandate you don't have to wear it no more.
Yeah.
You don't have to wear it anymore. They're still wearing it.
Exactly.
What happened to trust in the science? The science is telling you don't have to wear it, but they still wear it. See?
Yeah, the hypocrisy.
You just think about these two dummies, Dumb and Dumber, at my job. They're wearing a mask every mother effing day. Looks like it's getting tighter every day, man. You don't even have to fucking wear it anymore. Anyway, but anyway, the point is you didn't have to wear it in a period, okay? Because you're supposed to trust in the Lord. But we're not going to go to that.
Yeah, it's a whole nother.
Yeah, you know, it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Back in Ecclesiasticus 10 and 13, it says, "For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities, and overthrew them utterly."
And yeah, those strange calamities are coming upon the prideful, which is damn near, the head of that is America, man. You know, along with the EU, NATO, you know, they all work together, you know, start with the international banking families. They're the ones who set up these countries and what they stand for and all that, you know. But anyway, the whole world has gotten to this point because of Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, America. Because it's America was set up to control the whole world by way of morally, you know, be that beacon of morality, which is BS, financially, like the way to live. So all countries were modeled after to be like America. That's why everybody wears this. They get elected officials. They have suits and ties. A lot of countries in the world are doing democracy. Why? Because they're following the ways of the harlot.
I got you. This is Jeremiah 51 and 7. It says, "Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken."
Yeah, so the golden cup is literally a golden cup, meaning that it's you have all your cups, but you have a golden cup, your special one, okay? Meaning a beacon of light, something to look to. So America has been the golden cup of the Lord. But the Lord supplanted you by way of America, man. And it said what?
It says, "Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad."
Yeah, the nations are drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Not your sellout puppet leaders in those nations, but really the people of those nations. They say, damn, who the hell is a leader? He's making us change our ways and our values and all that. You know why? Because you have sellout leaders in these other nations that sell out their own people. The only people who are really enjoying the benefits are the sellouts, but the people suffer. Like I'm thinking right now, Haiti, man. You know, I mean Haiti, man. Since we were little, We've known about it. Me and Brother Nas, how corrupt it was, man. I mean, everybody knows. And that has been the how should I say, the pinnacle, one of the best examples of a corrupt government, man. Because Haiti, they don't give a damn about their people. There's the people on top, the sellouts, and people, the Haitian people that suffer, which are the tribe of Levi or Loyal. You know, all these nations are mad that America's coming to their country. That's why do you always see all the time in the Middle East, get out of our country. We don't need you, you know? But you don't see that too much in the news, but that's what's going on. The nations are mad. Because they make you walk away from your false gods or your ways.
Yeah.
Precept, same chapter. Ecclesiasticus 10 and 18. Pride was not made for men, nor furious anger for them that are born of a woman.
Pride wasn't made for man. Because ultimately all men will be following the laws of Heavenly Father in the near future, man, in the kingdom of heaven. All right? You know, the ultimate law, the ultimate truth is one truth, one law, which is the statutes, commandments that was given unto the nation of Israel. And the whole world is going to come to follow these ways because it's the only way. Right? There's only one truth, one power, and one Lord, man, and one chosen nation. You know? So pride wasn't given to man because we just read out that pride is the beginning of sin. Or pride is the beginning of how did the word begin?
Gun.
Pride is the beginning
of sin, gun.
Okay, pride is the beginning of sin, but then it was another way you said it. Oh, yeah, pride is the first thing of departing away from the Most High.
Right.
So it wasn't meant for man. Because if a man really understood truth, right, he would, these laws are the truth. You know, the laws of God are the truth. That's what we're trying to tell you, dummies, that the whole world, all nations will be following the laws of Heavenly Father, man. The truth.
I actually got a precept for you in the next chapter. Ecclesiasticus 11 and 15. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law are of the Lord. Love and the way of good works are from him. Error and darkness had their beginning together with sinners, and evil shall wax old with them that glory therein.
Read that again. That was a good one. Call that.
Gun.
Good scripture.
Ecclesiasticus 11 and 16. Error and darkness had their beginning together with sinners.
See, one more time.
Error and darkness had their beginning together with sinners.
Yeah, so error means the wrong way. Right? Error means the wrong way. Had their beginning together with sinners, meaning breaking the laws. Or if you break the law, you're in error.
And evil shall wax old with them that glory therein.
And evil shall wax old with them that glory therein. All right? The bad times. You know, you become a transgressor or error, and you try to rule society that way in error, or breaking the laws, or just carrying on society without the laws of the Father. You're in error. And what the last part say? I'm sorry.
It says, and evil shall wax old with them that glory therein.
Yeah, you know, it's just gonna create nothing but bad times, and especially the ones who glory in it. And who glories in transgression, who glories in error, is our people, and the so-called white man. That's why, again, we always say, that's why the Lord said, Yahweh Shai said what? Ye are your father the devil, and of your father the devil you will do. He was a sinner from the beginning, right? I think it goes something like that.
And abode not in the truth.
So there you go. The abode means a house. He didn't put his, he didn't dwell with the house of righteousness, you know. So, man, that's why this place is looking worse and more every day. And that's not a joke. I mean, we get updates with brothers on the chat, you know, brothers sending us each other stuff. When you look at brothers' shows, of just new information of how more wicked and wicked and wicked. Last week is more wicked than the week before. Right? It just new stuff. Hey, I just found out, which we kind of knew, but man, they went into how like we kind of knew, but yo, Esau during slavery literally ate slaves.
Wow.
Okay, not like no one-time thing. That was part of they did that. They ate slaves. Also, brother, I saw last week when they took the slaves from the west side of Africa, Israel, right? When they cargoed the slave ships, they took extra cargo. They took extra of the cargo, knowing that they were going to eat some of the slaves. So the slaves were being eaten too, on the slave ships by Esau. They knew someone died, and they knew that they're going to have to eat, you know, on that year trip, whatever. And then during slavery, slaves were being, Pastor R did a show. Remember the thumbnail of a jacket made out of a slave skin.
Slave skin, kind. That's true.
Okay, so talk about humiliation, man. Okay, you had slaves that were made that had jackets on. I'll just say it like this. You had Esau made jackets out of you, man. Oh, the point was he showed the jacket and it was being sold for like some I don't know what the price, but a certain amount of money today. It was on auction. Like today, like recently in the news, like amongst whatever, but it was being auctioned. A jacket made out of slave skin, you Israelite skin. And then remember, they were eating the slaves too.
You brought out a good word, humiliation. And the Heavenly Father is humiliating His people because of what you have done towards Him.
That's right.
You know, when you read Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, the 15th, I believe it's the 15th verse or the 16th verse on down, it talks about all the curses that the children of Israel would go through. So yes, all of that humiliation is because you transgressed the law, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father. Hence, this is why you are in the condition that you're in, right? And there is a such thing as Stockholm Syndrome, where you basically, worship your oppressor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, and you bow down to his ways. I mean, you people literally bow down to the one that truly hates you. Yeah,
I got precepts.
I got precepts too.
Jeremiah 5, what you just said, 5 and 17, it says, or 19, it says, and it should come to pass. Okay, let me read 18. It says, nevertheless, in those days, said the Lord, I will not make a full end with you. And it shall come to pass, when ye shall say, wherefore doth the Lord our power all these things unto us? Then shalt thou answer them, like as ye have forsaken me, and serve strange gods in your land, so shall ye serve strangers in a land that is not yours. Declare this in the house of Jacob, and publish it in Judah, saying, hear not this, O foolish people, and without understanding, which have eyes and see not, which have ears and hear not. Fear ye not me, said the Lord? Will ye not tremble at my presence?
Right.
Which have placed the sand for the bound of the which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea by perpetual decree, that it cannot pass it, and though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail. Though they roar, yet can they not pass over it. But this people hath a revolting and rebellious heart, and they are revolted and gone.
Right. It's basically giving you a quick, example of what the children of Israel have done against the Lord. Here it is, all of the blessings that you have received from Him, and look at what you do. That's why the scriptures speak about that, the whole head being sick, man. Completely a lot of our people, they undermine the Lord, man. Like, not understanding the power that He comes with. So
Let's see.
huh?
Nothing. I mean, I said they're about to see, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You truly are about to see. You're gonna see. You people literally vote for a new oppressor every 4 to 8 years, man.
Yeah, like something's gonna change, man. You people, man,
You
are
know.
disgustingly stupid. People believe in the. Don't get me started. Yeah.
Con, this is I'm gonna start at verse 2. This is Psalms 10 and 2. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
Damn, again.
The wicked in his pride.
Yeah, we just went over what pride is, right? Pride is the departing away from the Most High. So you're wicked. All right? And who's the most wickedest? Well, you actually not the most. You actually have a nation called the wicked.
Right.
Okay? Which is none other than the so-called white man. What kind of freak is going to make jackets out of slave skin? What kind of freak spirit is going to eat other people, man? And gloat in it? What kind of freak is going to have his kids witness another person getting hung right in front of them, man? And celebrate it? What kind of freak is going to do something called gator bait? Where they take alive babies, all right, and strap them to a stick alive and then feed the alligators, man. I mean, fine, you do whatever to shame somebody, but this was something they were doing. It was a business. Okay, they sent postcards of that to other people, man. It wasn't like one person did it, okay, and we're talking about what one person did. They advertised gator bait. That's the spirit of a devil, man. That's the spirit of a demon. Not even the most ruthless nations, which is one of the most ruthless nations, was a nation of Ishmael. You know, that's where the term assassin comes from. The Assyrians. I believe the Assyrians were Ishmaelites. May not be right, but the point is that you know, they were ruthless, man. They should have movie 300. A little bit of that, you know. But you know, nations have done ruthless things. You know what I mean? But Esau, man, you know, you're the things you've done in history, you know, especially you going to the conquistadors, what they did when they occupied this land to the women, tying the women, pregnant women, all right, tying them to horses, each limb, feet, arms, and then telling the horse to go that way and then go that way, and then their body rips apart. You know, so the wicked is the so-called white man. You devils, man. Your history shows it.
And if I can make a quick point, this is the same nation that locks you up for selling crack, but at the same token, turn around and start distributing crack pipes to you people.
Well, even worse. I just found out a few years ago watching a great documentary. It's called Culture High. Right? And that's an eye-opener, man. Basically, it talks about, you know, cannabis and marijuana, you know. And it said that 80% now, you go into the laws, well, not the laws of prophecy about Jake. Matter of fact, get that real quick. Just for this point. That's Isaiah, I think 40 something, when my people are in prison holes or something. Isaiah 42 or 40. I think it's, let me find it real quick. It says, my people are in holes. Just to back up your point. Isaiah 42 and 22.
This is Isaiah 42 and 22. It says, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes.
Yeah, so these are people robbed and spoiled. Okay? Meaning that the nation of Israel, there are people that's robbed. Identity's been stolen, number one. Our riches have been stolen. You know?
Our land.
What was that?
Our land.
Our land? What? Our land?
Yeah. You said heritage, right?
Yeah, our heritage.
Yeah.
I mean, in all ways, man.
Physically.
We've been, physically robbed and spoiled.
It says, they are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses.
Yeah, they're all in snare and holes, and they're hid in prison houses. So that's really a prophecy of what? That a prison and being snared in a hole is, well, the prison is basically talking about the prison system, you know? But mostly like during the time where we always went through slavery too. But you could definitely put it in the latter days, because you go into the jail system or the penitentiary system, who mostly fills up the jail system is our people, right? 90%. So-called blacks, Spanish, you know. And the point is that when I looked at that movie called Culture High, it points out that 80% of people locked up in the prison system is because of marijuana or cannabis. So the point is that if you were to, and you know, this is coming out from like, they created something, the DEA, Drug Enforcement Administration, which that was created to put Jake in jail, which is a setup, but anyway, by Nixon. But if you were to take away, let's say, that penalty of marijuana or whatever, then there would be no Jakes in jail. Even when I learned that, I was shocked. So people who locked up for crack, crystal meth, or whatever other stupid drug is, that's only a percent, like a small percentage of people really locked up for that. The majority of people are locked up for marijuana. But not only that, that if you were to release it to society, it will destroy the whole pharmaceutical industry. Because a lot of stuff that it does, it heals a lot of ailments that people suffer from right now. That's why this is a whole gimmick in business that they're letting it out now and shit, because at the end of the day, it's all about money. So they figured out a way to get money from it. And, you know, now it's the whole thing you got to get a card, you got to pay for the card, you got to pay for this. I'm sorry, there's another point too, where if they were to just stop that, right, then a lot of another big avenue, or where they where they excel at, or the state or the city, is that once they arrest somebody for, you know, marijuana, whatever the case is, they get to seize their car. They get to seize their there's a word for it though, seize their car, their home, and that's resold as in, like, you know, police auctions. Cars are resold in police auctions for a lesser amount.
There's property too, like houses and stuff.
Yeah, property.
Anything that the person they caught or arrested owns,
they take it.
They seize it.
Seize it. Yeah, that's where seize.
Yeah.
You know, so it's all systems. So if you take it away, then that means its local cities are not going to benefit. No more going down to the local town hall to the police auction to get that nice car over there for a cheaper price. So this man's the devil, man.
I was going to make a point that proves the quote, "I care not who makes its laws."
Yeah, it's not about laws. The whole foundation is about money, man, and destroying our people. Money and destroying our people, man. Okay, so read that again, Brother Sheikh, because I was just backing up the point you said.
Gun. This is back in Isaiah 42 and 22. It says, "But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth."
Yeah, they're for a prey, and none delivereth. When you go into the documentary, the 13th, it tells you they purposely changed the term slave to the term criminal. And by definition, it's basically the same thing. So when you commit a crime or you're a criminal, you know, you go to jail and they put you away for some amount of years, and you become a slave, because a lot of we talked about a lot of the these corporations, they give part of their businesses to the penitentiaries for people who are locked up to create, to build their things or to develop them, whether it be license plate, or I know HP, I know they have a contract with the jail system. I just found out, like, wow, Michael Jordan, right, has a big investment supporting prison building or something like that. I don't know the specifics,
He makes a majority. He made a majority as well from that.
My goodness.
The guy, maybe he was talking about the guy from Price is Right, Bob Barker.
Yeah, I think
he makes the prison clothes.
Wow.
Right. So a lot of companies, a lot of celebrities, they invest in the jail system, man. You see?
And who's in the jail system?
Yep.
Our people, man. This is why this place is gonna be obliterated, man. And you niggas are gonna burn like you never burned before. But I brought it up, forgot why, but we can go back. Oh, you were done with that?
Let me finish. It says, they are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith, restore.
Yeah, ain't nobody saying, look, man, this is not really balanced. How come there's so many so-called blacks, Latino Americans who fill the jail system, and there's only like 10% white or 5% Chinese, and like nobody's saying that's not right. Nobody's saying that's not fair. Because why? We're designed to be, the penal code is against our people. When you go into the crack epidemic, please, we'll be here for another 50 days, man. Crack was only there to destroy our people, physically, mentally, destroy our families, but also to put us in the jail system. So it was like killing many birds with one stone. You kill these niggas, destroy their minds, and then alter all facets. Even having children, Crack babies, man. Where do you think crack babies come from?
Good point.
You know, that whole term. Who manipulated that? The so-called white man. Because why? Because the proof to that was our people weren't going in that direction. If you go to the beginning of the 20th century, it was Jake creating everything you see around you right now. The stoplight, peanut butter, the first heart transplant surgery, and etc. You know? After the 70s, with women's lib and all this other civil rights shit, that was set up to make you feel a false way of morality, whatever, with King Dumbass, Martin Luther King, and that agent, Malcolm Dumbass X. And since then, it's been a downfall. You know what? The welfare system.
Mm.
And who's most affected? Our people. It was created to destroy our people, man. You know, scriptures talk about don't not go out being a beggar, so to speak, you know. But the system of welfare, you're not supposed to be in a welfare state. There's no laws. The laws of Heavenly Father is not designed us to be welfare. It's designed us to be self-sufficient. You know, us being owners of what we have and passing on trades to our children. Not to be dependent. Because ultimately you're supposed to be dependent on Yahweh Shema Shah. You're supposed to be dependent on the Lord, man.